Romans 3 is not just a chapter. It's the core of why Jesus had to die for us. It lays out the problems, the reality, and the only solution. This isn't about self-improvement, religion, or trying to be a better person. This is about the fact that we are altering hopeless until Jesus stepped in. Paul doesn't sugarcoat it. He makes it clear. There is no one righteous, not even one. That means you, that means me, that means every person who has ever walked this earth. No matter how much good we think we do, it will never be enough. God is perfect, holy, and righteous. His standard isn't try your best. His standard is perfection, because anything less than perfect is already stained by sin. And here's the part that should shake us to the core. God knew we could never reach that standard. He knew that no matter how hard we try, no matter how many rules we followed, no matter how much we wanted to be good, we would always fall short. Romans 3:23. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. That's not a maybe, that's a fact. Sin isn't just the bad things we do. It's a disease that has corrupted all humanity. It separates us from God, and there is nothing we could ever do to fix it. But this is where God's love goes beyond human understanding. He could have left us in our mess. He could have wiped us out and started over, but instead, He came down Himself. Let that sink in. The creator of the universe, the one who spoke galaxies into existence, stepped into the very world, corrupted. Jesus Christ, fully God, fully man, came as the bridge between sinful humanity and a perfect God. Why? Because He loves us that much. He saw the gap between us and Him, and instead of demanding that we cross it, He crossed it for us. Romans 3:24. And all are justified freely by His grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. Did you get that now? He knew we couldn't make it on our own. So He took on flesh. He walked among us. He lived the perfect life we could never. And then He went to the cross, not because He deserved it, but because we did. The wrath of God has to be satisfied. Sin demands justice. And instead of pouring out the wrath on us, He poured it on Himself. Jesus hung there, bleeding, suffering, dying, because He was standing in the gap between God and sin, between heaven and hell, between life and death. And in that moment, He made a way. Romans 3:25. God presented Christ as the sacrifice of atonement through the shedding of His blood to be received by faith. Do you understand how deep this is? God didn't wait for you to get your life together. He didn't wait for you to prove yourself. While you were still lost in sin, while you were still rejecting Him, He was already making a way to save you. And now it's simple. You don't earn it. You receive it. Not by works, not by effort, by faith. This is why Jesus had to die, because we could never be good enough. And God's love is so relentless, so limitless, so beyond anything we deserve, that He paid the price Himself. So what now? You stop running. You stop trying to be good enough. You stop carrying the weight of your failures and sins, because Jesus already carried them to the cross. And you do the only thing left to do: believe. Romans 3 shows us the hardest truth, but also the greatest hope. You are guilty, but through Jesus, you are also redeemed. This is the power of the gospel. That is the heart of God. That is why Jesus had to die. That is why you will never be the same once you truly understand it.